It's been a very long time since I've done a first impressions video, and it feels like it's been a year, but it's been more like 5 months, so let's talk about Tera this time. Now Tera has been out for a while, but a lot of you have not played it, including myself until now. Now we are also in the year 2016 and a lot has probably changed since release, so this might help you guys and newcomers decide if Tera is still worth playing. Now if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, I will definitely bring first impressions back to the channel. I first played Tera maybe a year or two back. It was the first action-based MMO I've ever played. Coming from a tab targeting game, this was extremely confusing and very hard to get used to. I was power leveled all the way to 60 and thrown into story quests to level my way to 65. Having gained a full hotbar of skills and not knowing what any of these skills do, on top of never playing an action-based MMO, I felt like I was trying to solve a puzzle when trying to pull off my combos and aim my attacks. Now this only lasted a day or so before I never logged back in, and recently a new expansion hit with a new class, the Ninja. So I've been inspired to play Tera once more. Now after quite some time and a lot of action-based MMO experience, I now return to Tera to hit max cap, explore in-game content and get a feel for the game with an open mind. Now this is from about 30 hours of gameplay after returning to the game as a semi-new player. Now the graphics in Tera are beautiful. Not the best, but I love the atmosphere. I feel as though anime fans will appreciate the design of Tera, as it is a perfect blend of seeming realistic in design but keeping a colorful anime style and theme. It is instance, open world, and a theme park game. Now the areas of Tera are very large and change dramatically from green forests to snowy mountains and places that look like hell. And I appreciate when a game can give me all types of environments. Character creation was definitely one of the worst. I saw a comment on a forum recently saying that Tera had the best character creation out of all MMOs, and I nearly died laughing. Your characters are mainly made of presets with a few sliders. If you want a certain kind of tail or horns, you have to have a certain kind of hairstyle. There's no mixing it up. So this kind of sucks and limits the player, making characters look less unique. Tera, however, does have a crazy amount of costumes and accessories and very unique races. Now this is a Korean MMO, so gender locked classes are no surprise. But if you dislike that, you will hate the fact that two of the most badass classes, Reaper and Ninja, are locked to the female-only Ellen race. Now, I mentioned costumes and accessories, and when I say there are a lot in the game, there is too many to count. Nobody really looks the same, and it's cool to see how many players are gathered in these big cities and areas, and everyone just looks so different. The game appears to be far from dead to me, and it may not be the most popular on streaming sites or YouTube, but has quite a loyal and large player base from what I've seen. Now the costumes can be bought with cash and sold for gold on the auction house, making this game pay to win. However, catching up to in-game players and getting the best meta gear isn't something that's going to take you months, and to be competitive in PvP it won't take long at all. So even though the game is technically pay to win, I don't feel like it puts that big of a gap between you and those dual-wielding credit cards. The leveling in Tera is great. Most games have the best content at endgame, and Tera makes it pretty easy to get there. They have a story quest you can follow, and after I believe level 13 you unlock Vanguard quests. It's a tab you can bring up and select quests and instantly teleport to that area, gain a ton of experience, and you can repeat the quest or do another. Once you level, your Vanguard quests change and you can repeat this until you hit max cap. If you care about the story, Tera might have a good one, but the thing is I didn't notice any kind of storyline until the level 60 to 65 quests. Some games throw the story in your face and there's no escaping it. Like Blade and Soul, you feel a part of the story no matter how much you try to dodge it. Tera, however, I had no clue what was really going on, but near endgame the story seemed a bit interesting. So leveling is pretty fast, and they have a very convenient system to help you along the way. It took me about 20 hours to hit 65 of my ninja, maybe a little more, and this is because I AFK'd a bit and I explored a few cities and the dungeon queue times were killer. Now this brings me to the dungeon topic. If you love PvE and you love dungeons, big bosses and mechanics, Tera is definitely the game for you. I love the PvE in Tera. Also the fact that some of the dungeons were actually a challenge on the road to 65. What I found out was the best way to level when a dungeon was available was not to queue but to find the dungeon location and wait outside of it, finding a party to run with there. There are certain merchants that sell you scrolls that can teleport you to pretty much any dungeon in the game. Now the design of the dungeons, boss mechanics, mob placement and all, everything about the dungeons were very well done. The endgame dungeons and raids are supposed to be even harder. I've done maybe 2 or 3 endgame dungeons and they definitely feel more difficult, with the bosses having double the health they did before. What kind of bothered me, not as much as it does in other games, is mob and boss reskinning. Now this is where they take maybe a level 5 mob and use it as a level 60 dungeon boss, but increase the size and change the colors and name of it. In most games this bugs me, but in Tera, with the crazy amount of added mechanics, it still makes the boss feel very unique. Now let's talk PvP. Tera has battlegrounds, 3v3 arenas, and open world PvP, open world being my favorite. I enjoy the system they have in place, but there are some flaws. You can toggle PvP on and off after receiving this skill very early on. This turns your name red and allows you to be hit by any player and also hit any player. It pretty much says if I'm near you, you need to watch your back. So at any time you can turn this on and off, allowing you to smack someone and shortly after be protected again unless they flag on you. However, killing players gives you infamy, and with infamy you cannot turn off PvP. Now that means you will always glow red and people will attack you just because. But is this really a bad thing? For those who love PvP, I don't know. Having infamy didn't hold me back from anything. A friend told me that he could not do dungeons because of infamy, and that there would actually be a good penalty if that's true. Now with this kind of system, it leads to a lot of griefing. At the start of the game, me and multiple players at around level 13 were being one-shotted by level 65s who camped the starting area. Now how that makes a player feel good killing a new player, I will never know, but this didn't stop the 80 PKs that went on around me. Now Tera does offer different channels, allowing you to switch to a less populated one in Quest and Peace. So this PvP system is fine to me, but a bit shitty with the amount of griefing that can happen to new players. If you choose a PvP server though, you should expect this. I queued up for arenas and never got to enter one. A friend told me nobody really does them, and if that's true then that's a bit shitty. I did get to do a stronghold, which is where you attack and defend with a ton of players. You can ride around in siege tanks as well. The whole concept of this is badass and it was a lot of fun. It seems as though they are balanced as well, and it gives you equalized gear. Now this brings me to the game's optimization. My god, is it the worst I have ever experienced. With the 970 graphics card, 16 gig RAM, 8 core CPU, and more decent specs, my frames go to shit during large scale PvP. Even in a 5-man dungeon where a ton of animations are going on, this game shits itself and it really sucks. When my PC was half as good as it is now, it felt the exact same playing Tera. Now, I don't think it matters how good your PC is, Tera will always be poorly optimized. Getting gold in Tera doesn't seem very hard, and dailies give you quite a bit, along with materials to enhance your gear. Now gear can be disassembled, so dungeon drops and whatnot that you don't really need can be beneficial anyway. I've played the Slayer and I've played the Ninja, and both classes have been extremely fun. From how much design and sexiness goes into the animations to how mobile these classes are, I love the gameplay. People say Tera feels clunky, and somewhat when you miss an attack. It's not the most fluid action combat ever, but it's pretty good aside from your attacks taking a few extra seconds to see, or maybe not even see at all when you're caught in a group fight, or Zergfest due to the lag and crap optimization. Tera has some unique mounts as well, but throughout my playthrough I only use one that I get for free by being a subscribed player. And subscribing costs a monthly fee, but can also be obtained through an item that I think players can sell by buying with cash. Not sure, but I got a free 30-day sub scroll from a friend, and so that worked out. Flying mounts were just introduced and can only be used in certain zones. The flying doesn't last long either, but you can jump right back into the sky seconds after landing. Makes getting to quest points easier, but with certain zones not allowing you to fly, it's not like you can explore a massive open world on the back of your line, or whatever you're flying. So let's get to the pros and cons of Tera. Here's the positive. It has a beautiful atmosphere and very detailed design with dungeons, mobs, and more. And the crazy amount of outfits and customization, some games lack this, making most players look the same, but not in Tera. It has easy leveling with intense dungeons to make the grind entertaining. It has great PvE, from BAMs in the wild to hardcore dungeons with crazy mechanics. Great combat, like really good combat, and very unique classes and races. Battlegrounds and arenas are in the game to feed your hunger for PvP, but this is also a negative, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And it also has very decent progression. Now on to the negatives. So character customization is complete crap. Arenas are in the game, but it seems that nobody queues at all. Very lonely. Battlegrounds are awesome as well, but the lag fest makes it unenjoyable unless you are getting kills. Optimization is horrid, from small scale PvP, 5-man dungeons, battlegrounds. You never know when your frames will drop to shit. The flagging system is okay, but griefing new players is a bit harsh, and this system is very abused from what I've seen. This game is pay to win, but this isn't as bad as it sounds, because catching up isn't too hard if you put in the effort and time, or time and effort. And the story. Wait, what story? So after all of that, from about 50 hours total of Tera gameplay, I give this game a 7.5. It would easily be an 8.5 if the optimization wasn't so horrible. So should you check Tera out if you're searching for some really good PvE or a balance between PvP and PvE? Hell yes. If you live in EU, should you? I don't know, because I hear the EU version is pretty bad. It is a good game, and will I play it again? I'm sure, especially with friends to play with. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you plan on playing Tera? Have you played it, or have you quit? Let me know. And if you guys would like to see more first impressions, just tell me what game you would like to see, and maybe I'll give it a chance. Catch you guys in the next video.